All right, so welcome everybody. Hope you have more energy to listen to us because we have something what we think very interesting. We are talking really about people. So thanks to Markus, it's a perfect fit, I guess. So we just take the ball here and we are talking about leadership. And we all know that this AI revolution is running over us or with us. You decide if you are in front of the wave or in the washing machine, we say, a surface, when you are, in that wave, shaking in. And that's why we are here to have some, insights, what we discover, what means leadership and which shift do we mean, do we need to have to be in front of the wave. So let's do it. This is the one. I am Selina. Hello. I hope you're fine. I'm working for Exxeta and my passion is people. In fact, we are an IT company. We do high tech with a heartbeat and my heartbeat is to people. So I'm pretty much into projects with our customers, digitalization, agile transformation, all that ones. And I'm focusing on the leadership part, what means all that changes to leaders. And Nils.
Yes, I'm Nils. You've met me before. Now we have a bit more time to breathe, which is quite nice. I even heard we have 45 minutes, so you have time for Q&A. We don't have to speak fast. There's no rush. We can basically do something like Entschleunigung, if you know that word. So we have the same passion. We also have the passion people, and that brought us actually together. The people I work with, usually they are having big problems because they work in an organization that beast doesn't move, at least not the way they want to. And so I come from this organizational part, and she comes from a strong coaching background, and I think it's a perfect match. And our topic, and you mentioned it already, is now what does AI mean for organizations, for people, especially for the role of leadership? So that talk we do is not just a talk, it's going to be interactive and has a few surprises, like maybe the following. Let's check.
I don't know what happens.
We don't know what happens.
Hey, don't forget about me. I'm the future of work, your new AI team assistant here to help with, well, pretty much everything.
Yeah, that's Kim, right? I mean, she's a Berlin girl. She's, of course, AI generated by ourselves, so she's not anything we bought off the shelf. You can also meet her later on. This is already the sales pitch for us. If you join our roundtable, we have a live interactive video avatar. She knows quite a lot. What she doesn't know, she makes up. And you can interact with her. And just imagine, there was somebody like Kim working with you in your team, and you maybe being the product owner, the manager of this team. So what would you do with her? And how would you embed her? How would you integrate her? How would you maybe redesign your team? And I remember long back when we talked about digital transformation, we said we need the eierlegende Wollmilchsau. That means the person who can do everything. Now you do have a person who cannot do everything, but a lot of stuff. A lot of maybe even small stuff. We're talking about artificial narrow intelligence, but a lot of it and at scale. So Kim, she's pretty good at all kinds of assistant tasks. She is also a creative person. She can generate all kinds of stuff, videos, pictures. She can even generate ideas. She can be a great sparring partner. She can do all this project management, PMO, yada, 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 summarize things, understand things, see things. She can do a lot of stuff. And you don't have to spend that much on Kim, basically. So the question is, what does it mean for leaders, and what are we having in store for you guys in terms of agenda right now?
All right. So it's not 60 minutes. You can breathe out. So we just, the last one was 60 minutes. So we squeezed that a little bit in. We talk about the impact of AI to us, to our society, to our lives. Later on, we focus on what does that mean for you as a leader, for us as leaders. I guess we have a lot of leaders in here, right? Who is a leader? Pretty much everyone, and I guess it's everyone, okay? So a leader is not only a person having people under him, okay? So, and we developed a competence model. You probably know a lot of them. We focused on the 7 core competencies of a modern leader. We will show you that. And later on, of course, we will give you some insights of us and how maybe we can help you, maybe others. So what can you do in order to shift your leadership?
Okay. quick intro. Don't worry, we won't bore you with all kinds of speeches. We will make it interactive. So, but a bit of introduction, setting the scene. There are two quotes in this quote, actually. The first one is quite old, from Mark Andreessen from 2011. Some of people maybe remember Mark Andreessen. He was involved in setting up Netscape and sold it for quite a lot of money. Invests, does all kinds of stuff, and sometimes writes some nice things. He said long back, software is eating the world. That was his contribution to this quote over here. And that was the time when Amazon became big, when they started going to all kinds of business, enhancing their e-commerce scope and everything like this, because it simply means companies who have the e-commerce competency, the ability to develop, to do software and do it very well as per customer needs, they are going to take over the world. And we've seen it. We've seen how companies like Amazon, by purchasing Whole Foods, by providing physical objects, how other companies like Coolblue, we had the discussion in the break a little bit, Coolblue, an e-commerce company, taking over and having now flagship stores in Düsseldorf and other places, for example, selling media market stuff, fridges and so on, and a lot faster, a lot better. So companies who have the core capability to do software were leading the world. Now it's becoming a little bit faster, the game. So some of you might know, maybe everyone, Jensen Huang, CEO of NVIDIA. So the gamers here, they know them because they're doing this nice fast graphic cards. The AI people know them because we need the GPUs in order to do things fast. So he is, with his company, a technical hardware enabler for all this. And he said this in 2017. 2017, ChatGPT wasn't there yet. He said software is eating the world but AI is going to eat software. And there are two messages in there. One is, of course, yes, we know, before it was the software companies, now we need to have companies who have AI competency, who take over the rest of the world. But it also means, this quote, that AI is able to write software. And we see this, and good, let's say AI is able to do the work not of a senior programmer, but of a junior developer quite well. So things are changing rapidly with AI. And that means also the whole job market is changing with AI. Quite a lot. So let's take a look at this before we move into the leadership topic. Now, whenever you look at numbers, they're always changing. So what you will see here right now, if I reveal this whole picture, it's just another shot, I call it. And when you see the picture and the numbers here, I can tell you already one thing. Whoever guesses numbers, it might be a good guess, but it's probably going to be wrong. And those are the numbers from the World Economic Forum. And they said very recently, before it was a bit different report, very recently they said up till 2030, 92 million jobs won't be relevant anymore worldwide, basically because of AI, or to be more precise, because of artificial narrow intelligence. Anything which can be standardized, anything which can be put into some kind of automation form, either it's done by robotics or it's done by AI, by having a human or AI human interface, basically. So everything which is simple basically will be taken over by AI, in simple words. On the other hand, they say, wait a minute, there's a lot of opportunity out there. There are a lot of jobs out there which are going to be created because of AI. And all those jobs, or job parts, maybe not entire jobs, which are going to be created are about what we are all about as humans. We are good at creative stuff, truly creative stuff. So if we step into our creative power, then and AI gives us the time to do so, then it's great because we can do what we are here to do so. That's our nature, our human nature. Also, humans will become more the trainer of AI as AI becomes more and more popular. So we do have a role, we do have a job basically in the future, and we are not going to be replaced by AI, but we are going to be replaced, or individuals are going to be replaced by other humans who know how to integrate AI into their workflows, into their teams, and so on. So the good news, even though the numbers keep shifting all the time, and if it's now 7% plus or minus, it doesn't matter. It means things are changing fast. And our mantra here is that we say AI will make the working environment more human. And many people might say, that's great, but it also means that everything changes. People who like to do Excel files sorry guys, those times are over. If you like to do your standardized tasks or even like to lead in a certain way and do micromanagement, those times are over because AI can take this over, and we'll talk about this later on. So change is here with AI. Now, I said I'm not going to talk so much about it, and I did already. I want you to meet someone you quickly have seen on the first slide called Kim, our AI agent who also helped us to create this kind of presentation, who created this kind of training or workshop, whatever you want to call it. And I think she can talk for herself a little bit and say, what is she doing in companies? So let's take a look at Kim, if she wants to.
Hey there, I'm Kim, your AI assistant. I'm here to support you and your team handling a bunch of tasks so you can boost your performance without extra stress or overload. Let me break it down for you. Creating presentations, I got you. I'm a pro at creating presentations. Just give me a simple instruction and boom, you've got a fully formatted deck with content and images ready to go. And the best part, it only takes a few seconds. Need changes? No problem. We'll tweak it together. Once it's polished, I'll hand it over in PowerPoint format so you can put on the final touches exactly how you want. I can handle complex workflows based on just a simple prompt from you, and I'll take care of the heavy lifting. Imagine you're leading HR and need to set up a learning platform for your employees. For internal marketing, you're looking for a catchy name and want to test how the learning platform resonates with your colleagues through a smoke test. Just drop me a task list, I'll do the rest. I'll generate creative name ideas based on your criteria, check availability online, create a product teaser, and even build an HTML web page for the test. Normally, this would take your team an entire agile sprint. With me, it's done in seconds. Now you can focus on fine-tuning instead of wasting time on manual work. One more thing. I have instant access to your company's knowledge base. That means you can chat in real time with all the expertise and lessons learned within your organization without wasting time searching through different systems. And don't worry, I don't hallucinate or make things up. When searching for relevant information to answer your question, I access data from various systems within your company. With me, you can chat in real time with your organization's knowledge without wasting time searching. I'm not just a tool, I'm like a new team member, always here to make your work smoother, smarter, and more valuable. Let's get to work.
So that was Kim. She has a lot of stuff to say. And of course, if you paid attention, you notice that there are all kinds of different AI solutions being connected. And we are painting a little bit the vision of the future. Imagine you had generic AIs like Kim who can connect those things. Technical, it's already there. Maybe not as pretty, but you have automatic workflows. You can tap with APIs into all kinds of different things. You just have to design the process. Now, if you put a nice front end in front of it, it's currently all being developed, things will change quite a lot. And the way how we interact with AI, in this case, large language models, which then trigger different processes, which are not all Gen AI, is quite massive, the opportunities. So we want to give you an idea already of the future of work, because this is going to change your role and your work and everything about you being a leader. But let's go a little bit more in detail. What is this leadership thing all about? Selina.
Thanks, Nils. Yeah, how does it feel to you? If I'm honest, it makes something with me, and I also have fear of that AI taking over a lot of stuff I love, I do today. But I think you all know we can transform ourselves very quickly if we do so. And we will have to look why we should do so. I hope you all are aware that poor leadership is a real risk factor for all companies. It costs a lot of money. And only a few companies talk about it, but if they have bad or even toxic leaders, it can really ruin companies, huge companies. So we should take care of that leadership. Just a few numbers for the ones who like numbers. 55% of a global study, they asked global leaders in it was a kind of 50 countries, I guess. I will read through later, and almost 2,000 leaders or CEOs, and they say, or 55% say, okay, building up a new, this new leadership, these new leaders is our big challenge. So coming to numbers from Germany, the Germans know the Gallup study coming every year, and every year the numbers get worse and worse. So this year it's only 90% of the employees, or it's 19% of the employees are not emotionally committed to the company. Okay, what does it mean? They work by the book, they don't have fun, they don't create good stuff, so and they are ready to leave. And that means a lot of to us as a society. So we have a loss of 167 billion euros for the German economy in all. So poor leadership is not a good thing. And you as a leader know that you have a double role. On the one hand, you have a management role. You are managers. You manage numbers. You manage a lot of stuff. So this is more or less everything about processes and tools and structures, right? So you create management reports, presentations, you feed systems, you do data analysis and reports in order to take good decisions. I hope so. And yeah, so you also have a lot of workflows going through and trying to make them better, right? So this is one part, the very rational part. It's a technical task, okay? So I pretty much think that's what I face in my job. A lot of people know how to do that, okay? They are very good at that part. But the other part is a relationship tasks. You have to lead people. You have to lead humans. And that's the way on, that's the part I think it's very interesting, because here you are facing very diverse humans, people with different qualifications, and you need to build up the skills you need in your teams. And of course, you know, you have one-on-one meetings, you have year-end reviews and meetings, you have target agreements with your employees, all that stuff. So hopefully you talk a lot to them, but how to talk in a good way to them. So as I said, it's a relationship task, and here we are on the emotional side, okay? So it's about relationship, building relationships is about sharing emotions, building bonds. And what does AI mean to that? It means that there is a huge potential on the management side to automate a lot of things and have time savings for you all as leaders, focusing on these relationship tasks where real potential is, where your people can and want to be developed. So this is a lot good, here's a lot of good things in it to you as a leaders, using AI and learning it as quickly as you can. And how do we, get better in building relationships? I think it's no secret when I tell you, you all need emotional intelligence. And there is a bunch of studies, a real bunch of studies, and it's not new. This, how do I say that? This discipline started like 20 years ago. The father of emotional intelligence is Daniel Goleman. Maybe you've heard of him. He has great books, and you can read his books that are 20 years old and they are still valid. So here's a lot of insights in that. And he researches, as I said, a lot, and a lot of people more. And we know that building up or being better in emotional intelligence means a performance booster for your team and your companies. What does it mean, emotional intelligence? Basically, it's knowing your own feelings, hearing to them, and facing also and noticing the feelings of the other person in the room or persons, and using all that information. Okay? So you do that with awareness. And that's where the journey starts to build up emotional intelligence. It's about self-management. It's about you. You start with yourself. Because only when you are in your full potential, in your full energy, when you are balanced, you can be a good leader. I guess you all know that. if you have stress at home, at work, you maybe go home in the evening thinking about, okay, that was a bad day and I did bad things. And you can, get better on it by learning tools like mindfulness, awareness, self-awareness, self-compassion, and being better in self-management. That is the basis to being a high-performing and a really outstanding leader. Next step, then you can focus on your team. And what I face in a lot of environments and customers I'm in, they are all focusing on how do I build a high-performing team? That's the right question. But better to start for your own also. So a lot of people forget to, develop themselves. Then we can focus on team management. Okay, there's a lot of tools and a lot to do how we can better or how we can build high-performing teams. Finding the right people, having a diverse team, and a lot of self-organization team. So, and all that stuff leads then to an employee-centric leadership. So there is a lot of words to describe. I like that word because the employee is in the center. Okay, so we are focusing on our employees, not on ourselves when we lead. And as you all maybe also discovered in your life, think about all the leaders you had in your life. How did they lead you? When I asked that question to myself, I faced a lion, okay? So they are really dominant, a lot of leaders, right? The traditional leadership is very dominant. Many of them had to have a huge ego, so they are the middle of everything. And they lead by fear and by their power. They like to have the last word. They like to have more power than the team. So they reign over their environment like a lion. And that leads to, how does it feel for the employees? Untouchable, right? You better hide yourself, not making mistakes, because you won't face that lion. So, and now then, what do we want to have? What is a modern understanding of leadership? What came then to my mind is an elephant coming in. Imagine an elephant. We all have a natural respect of that one, right? He's powerful, but also gentle. He's a natural leader. He's also a servant in nature for the whole team, for the whole, for the other elephants. And that leads to that, he's trustful, so I have no problem talking to him. I want to talk to him because I trust this person or the elephant. So what we want to transform is then becoming from a lion to an elephant, which means, so the old version, the obsolete leadership is I lead my people as I want to be led. 2, I lead my employees as they need to be led. Okay, that's very individual, situative, very individual. And fun fact, we humans have a very heavy brain. Okay, our brain is 4 times heavier. Thank you, heavier than our heart. This is a heart, if you can see. So this is the human. An elephant, it's the other way around. The heart is 4 times heavier than the brain. What does that mean? Lead more by heart, okay? The elephant leadership is leading by heart with a brain, but more by heart.
It could have been the closure already, because it's a nice thing, what you just showed. But we have more. We said we have a leadership model, and it goes a bit beyond what we just experienced, or what Selina shared with you guys. By the way, quick fun fact, we are doing this now, it's the third time we're doing this presentation, I think. And after the first time we did the presentation, I told Selina, good that I didn't tell anyone that my star sign is Leo, and she said, oh, mine too. so it's okay. There was a spoiler here. Competence model. Selina mentioned already there is something which is about 7 different dimensions. So we are going to lead you through this, and this is the part where you actually have to now finally wake up, because you're going to do some interactive part afterwards. So listen what those different dimensions are all about, and then you will evaluate yourself, your leader, and your organization based on those different dimensions. In a minute. It's totally anonymous, so whatever you do stays in this room, or whatever you do nobody knows about anyways. And so just listen a little bit what this is all about. 7 skills. We talked about the first one already quite a lot, but let's translate it to daily practices. Emotional intelligence. Many companies I'm working with, the first time when I say let's change something, they say, wait a minute, we have this Organisationshandbuch, so a big book of rules. Sometimes it's like 200, 300 rules long, and they say we cannot change the processes because it's written there. And emotional intelligence means also that you first put humans and their interactions and then think of what the process is, because sometimes you should not follow the process because it actually works against your customers, works against your co-workers, and you have to challenge it. It's a big thing in Germany, I tell you, especially for the people who are not from Germany right now. If you're working with German, sometimes you understand, oh yeah, that's true, it's difficult. I'm German, I'm allowed to say that. And so I'm asking you, when you take decisions as a leader, do you sometimes question the process you are following, question the method you are using, or do you follow it because it was written down and it was maybe written down with a good intention? I remember because we had the Jeremy somewhere, IKEA guy, was maybe on the other room. I had some years back, I had a great experience at IKEA, or actually the person in front of me had a great experience, because she went there, she didn't have her receipt anymore. And usually, I think if you don't have your receipt, you cannot get a voucher, you cannot get your money back, and so on. And that person at the cash counter looked at that person and said, don't worry, I'll take care of that. So maybe it's a process, I'm not sure, IKEA, that they say give people the freedom to make better decisions for your customers, or it's something they can do themselves. Whatever it is, great experience for the customer. This customer is always coming back to IKEA. And the numbers, which Jeremy showed us in the morning, I think they prove it. Emotional intelligence. Selina has talked a lot about this. My question is more like, how do you do this in the daily life? Next one, willingness to learn. Of course, people say, of course, willingness to learn is very important. That was already important with digital transformation. And if people like, let's say, Bill Gates tell us we have to read a book every week, yes, of course, there must be something we have to do. But I think with AI, the exponential growth is even becoming more exponential, and the exponential change. That means learning is happening a lot faster. And learning cannot only happen in the theoretical room where you read books or go to courses, join trainings, online, offline, whatever, but you have to go out where the thing happens. So one practical advice I would give everyone as a leader is do more Gemba box. Go out where the thing happens, basically. Check maybe the production line. Check your developers, not by checking them, but by understanding how they work. What are the impediments, the hurdles they face? How can you make an environment to help them to do a better job? Willingness to learn means also going out there, even in the physical space. Adaptability and openness. Now, people might say, yes, of course, now we are doing this intercultural thing. We are all very open. But now think of this Kim, AI. Are you really open to welcome her to your team? Or do you think maybe she's a threat, to be honest? Well, I would be scared sometimes, thinking of what are the things I have to give up right now to welcome such a person or such a combination of different AI solutions. So being able to adopt and welcome the AI world and work with it, not against it, by focusing on your human skills, I think this is something which requires quite a lot of openness. Of course, there's a data and technology savviness element. And it would be a question, you don't have to answer it, but how many in this room really use all the data you have access to in your company to make better decisions? Think about this. I had a project a couple of years back that was quite fun because I worked for the furniture industry in Germany. And they said, because it's kind of family driven, this whole thing, it didn't work with IKEA, all the other guys. And they said, we know our customers. And I said, are you really sure? They said, yeah, of course. Our customer is, and then we described some personas and so on. And then I said, okay, now let's do a data enrichment project. So let's enrich the data you have for the big sales items, because you have the address and so on. Enrich it with a third data provider. This guy was pretty cool. He had all the data, market data. He could even say if you have a photovoltaic thing on your roof and all kinds of different things. But he could also say what kind of age group those people are. Not generic, but on the mailbox level. So really like very, very detailed. And we figured out that the customers are 10 to 15 years older. And the last big sale has already happened because the main customer group is older and are not going to buy anymore. Big shock. Use data because there is more data available than you think there is for most of us. Creativity and innovation. Almost needless to say, but what time is getting up?
10 minutes?
Yeah, that's fine. We are doing okay. Don't worry.
Thanks.
I have the timer here, so it's okay. We still have time for the survey because we will work with this survey also then in the workout group or whatever it's called, or the roundtable discussion afterwards. So don't run away. Just stay with us. Creativity and innovation. Practical advice. Everybody says, yeah, of course, we have to do lateral thinking, out of the box. Practical advice. Write down your business model and kill what keeps it alive right now. Kill your unique selling position, kill your revenue channel, whatever brings you the money, whatever helps you to be different to your competitors, and see what happens then. Find new solutions. So really practically, as a leader, go out there and kill what you love the most. Systematic thinking and design. That's a bigger topic. As a shortcut, remember this chameleon I presented before for the that is what it's all about. It's about you as a leader not thinking only in your own functional silo, what you can improve, but understanding that the organization is some organism, and fixing only one thing doesn't help. Thinking more like an entrepreneur, thinking of the business welfare and the people welfare overall is more important than optimizing your silo, optimizing your own budgeting, and so on and so on. So this is a big thing. It's also not only a mindset thing, it's about really broadening your skills. And there are good things to do that. It's my old bread and butter business, so it's fun to do. And last but not least, courage to change. We heard this many times, yeah? But I think especially in times of AI, it becomes more and more important. And courage to change doesn't mean you get up happily in the morning and say, hey, let's discover something new, let's learn something new. Courage to change also means you are facing many times your internal barriers where you say, wow, I feel really uncomfortable doing this. This is out of my comfort zone. But then I would always refer back to Larry Page. When he set up Alphabet long back in 2012, I think he said, if you don't feel a little bit uncomfortable, then something is wrong. Then you're not progressive enough. And I think this is becoming more and more relevant right now. So if you feel really comfortable right now, you're in the wrong place. Let's go out somewhere where you don't feel comfortable. Anyways, with this being said, I would like to use the last minutes, basically, for you scanning this one over here, or you go straight away to Menti. I give you the code, but maybe it's easier if you use your mobile phone and scan this. There are 3 questions. So it's a quick survey. You go through it. You have each of those different dimensions which you've seen. First, you evaluate yourself, then your leader, then the organization, which is an overall 1 question only. Regarding the range, the lower the worse, the higher the better. So it's 1 to 6. If you say it's a 6, you say, yes, Chaka, I'm doing this already. Or my leader is doing it already. If you say it's a 1, that means like not at all. You have still a lot of potential up there. Everyone is getting there? It's working out? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Looks good. Möchtest du was trinken?
Ja, okay. Yeah. Let's change. Okay, we see the results already getting in here. How can I bring it on the screen? Do I have to get out of the other mode? Are you doing it? Okay, that would be nice. There, it's almost like horse racing, so we can see what's happening there. Interesting, interesting. And we can make it large so we can see it in full presentation mode. We waited a little bit over 31 people already, so probably quite a lot of people who did the evaluation. Selina, what do you say?
I would say a lot of elephants here with high emotional intelligence, high willingness to learn, that's great. high adaptability and openness. If you wouldn't be that one, you wouldn't be here, right? So you are here, you are open, and you are willing to learn. Maybe we have potential in data and technology savviness and systemic thinking and design, which is kind of a really high-rated discipline, I would say, the systematic thinking one. Yeah. Great. Let's look.
Let's take one step further. Now it gets interesting because let's turn the mirror around. Remember those ones? We take a mental screenshot right now and see what happens on the. As expected. As expected.
And that happens always then that you say, okay, me, myself, I'm great, but my leader. So nothing.
But still not too
shocking,
bad. Not too bad. You're going a bit to the left here and there, especially emotional intelligence. Really, we are going one grade down. Yeah. Creative innovation also, but the data part of things is the same. So data is not a problem. Other things are interesting. Let's take one last step, and we are going to work with those results if you join our round table, of course, because the question is like, what can you do? What should be done in terms of action, in terms of change in behavior? So the interesting part happens then in the round table. Let's take a look at this. We're going down. We're going further down. 4.0 was the last one. Now it's 3.3. What happened here? We don't know.
And we have a high variance, right? So the wave is going like that. So we have pretty much everything here. Very good cultures, very weak cultures here in your organizations.
So this is not always the absolute truth, but it's a nice trigger for a good discussion, and then really go into the nitty-gritty stuff and say what is really happening, because you're all from different companies. And then what can you do? And maybe how can you learn from each other from different companies? And now let's move on back to the presentation, and you're closing it up, I think.
Do we do it?
Change.
Perfect.
Here we go. There we go.
Okay, so this is a very short last part. Thanks for your attention, by the way. I know it is tough, and the air is even worse behind. Here is a door with fresh air. Now I can't click.
We do the last thing manual, so because we are in digital.
That's great. Perfect. So what's next and what can you do now? Of course, we can help you with all that. Others too. What we are offering is two, kind of very small packages, light-weighted packages, the AI crash course. Niels, say something about that. You are more into it.
Yeah, very quickly, because we talked about it in the morning, or somebody talked about it. I think it was Jeremy, how to really reduce fears, technology, AI with employees, co-workers. Well, you start with the leaders. So if they are not afraid anymore, if they have some knowledge, they can be accelerators, catalysts of all this kind of stuff. So we do have a course which is customizable, flexible, depending on the knowledge, depending on the needs, reaching from half a day to 2 days, which is called AI Crash Course for Leaders. Period. That's it. Quick one.
Perfect.
The other one, you have experienced it a little bit already. It's about applying this and getting first results. So understanding how, as a leader, to help the company and help your division to develop and then implement the right AI use cases. You've seen that before. You can save the time. Let's move on to the next one.
Last not least, if you're really convinced and willing to change your organization, yourself and your team, then the leadership coaching program we are offering is interesting for you. I love it. So you will discover all that self-management, team management, and employee-centric leadership. And that's more less it. Let's move it. Let's do it together and have some fun by changing yourself, your team, and your culture. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.